let's be honest, very few people like confrontation, and the few who do scare those of us who prefer not to have confrontation. Confrontation of itself is not a bad thing. Confrontation is how we oftentimes is the only way to overcome difficulties in a connection. It's the only way to bring to the surface issues that need to be resolved and to be able to resolve them, because we're not always going to, as connections, personally and professionally, have the same opinion of what has occurred or needs to occur. We're going to look at two different ways of overcoming a fear of confrontation. And it's based on understanding. By using the word understand, understand has two, we recognize in communication has two meanings. What do you cognitively understand? In other words, what knowledge do you have? What background is there? What understanding do you have on an analytical and rational level? But also understanding on an emotional level. By using the phrase "I understand" and using empathy in a situation, we can de-escalate situations that may seem or may seem to be growing in confrontation. We all want to avoid the modern meme of "that escalated quickly." So by couching things in terms of understanding, it takes the concept of a confrontation away from being a negative experience and brings it into a positive experience where we're both seeking understanding on a cognitive level for those who are rational and analytical in their approach, but also on an emotional level for those who are artistic and emotional in their connections. Really, what we're looking to do is to de-escalate a situation and keep the conversation from degenerating into just a pointless, endless debate with no clear resolution. That's why nobody likes to talk about politics at family dinners. There is no resolution. There is no understanding between opposing forces. We're here to make connections that overcome that fear of confrontation by seeking understanding. So let's start with the phrase, what do you understand? What is the understanding level or knowledge level or background experience level of the connection? So simple questions such as, what do you understand about the home buying or home selling process? Let them share with you what their understanding is. It could be very broad, it could be very vague, but by starting at that level, we will, in our own sense, have an understanding of their understanding. What do you understand about the loan qualification process? Oh, how many times have you had somebody say, oh, I don't want to do the loan process. Like, can't we just look at houses? What do you understand about it? It's not as mean and nasty as it may appear. They may have had negative experience, or frankly, all they've seen is online, and not everything you see on YouTube can be trusted. So their understanding may actually be incomplete, or in fact, it may be completely wrong or mismatched with reality. What do you understand about determining the market value of your home? Yes, your neighbor may be sold their home for more, but their home is not your home. What do you understand about coming up with market value? Or what do you understand about the new construction process? Again, all of these are helping us. Anytime that there seems to be a mismatch between an expectation and what's happening, then what do you understand? This is no longer a confrontation. This isn't a, when somebody says, well, what were you thinking? That's negative. Well, didn't you know? That comes across as negative and condescending. What do you understand? That begins to open it up. Now we can move it to the next level of, once they begin to express their experiences, now we want to move away from confrontation. We may not always see completely eye to eye, but we want to help them see that we're focusing on understanding the issue to get a clearer perspective and reinforcing the relationship with the follow-up question, help me understand. Help me to understand what your experience is. So simple questions like, help me to understand the buying and selling process from your perspective. First, they ask them, well, what do you understand? Help me understand it from what you see it as, or your experience with loan qualification. Help me to understand who you are and your experience so that I understand you. And then we can move forward toward a resolution by understanding cognitively and emotionally, understanding each other, and that we're focused on understanding the situation so that we come together on a rational or the right type of solution because we now understand the situation the same way or in a similar way, or at least understand the other's perspective and can approach it from a level of understanding rather than dominance.